Hello everyone, welcome to IT Learn. This is Karthik. I also welcome you to the AnyAUT Certified Developer Training. Today is the orientation session and I would love to introduce you all to Synura, who has been a great part of contribution to AnyAUT as a dream project, and she has done a tremendous amount of effort and work on it. And with that kind of a background, I believe she's the best person to train every one of us on how to become an AnyAUT certified developer. And I also wanted to mention that this is part of the JPACT 2 and a very subtle announcement of the JPACT batch 3. So let's get started, and there's a lot of points that Sindhura will love to cover. But before I do that, or we do that, I wanted to share a few updates with each of you. So what I'm going to do, since it's going to be an ongoing 6-7 session training program, I'm going to create a new folder in my Google Drive. I'm going to call this as AACD May 2017. And I'll just put a few notes in there. Google Docs. Hope you all can hear me and the screen is good. And hope not too much background noise from my office in India. Why is the system hanging? Okay, notes. Orientation. All right, so what are the big updates or the opportunity that I have right now to share with each of you? The first and foremost is the AnyAUT certified tester training. Where are we with it? What have we done and what's the next steps? I will also talk a little bit about the upcoming Selenium live training, and we're going to get started with AnyAUT certified developer. All right, so AnyAUT certified tester training team. These are questions that are being asked, so I'll request each of you to focus and listen to exactly how you can become a certified tester. The first and foremost thing is to attend the AACD, the supposed 7 hours but a 13 hours free training, either as live or videos. I hope to do another session with it, another total training shortly, but I don't have a schedule for it yet. Now, that's the first step to become a certified tester. The second step is to implement AnyAUT in a real or dummy project. What do I mean by this? So for those of you who do not have the exact clue of what AnyAUT does, just go to AnyAUT.com, please. And I'll walk you through what AnyAUT does through this very briefly for a minute. And I'll also show the vision. Maybe Sindhura will do that as to where we are taking this. We did something very simple, team. We did not kind of reinvent the wheel or try to make it rocket science. We made it very simple. I would like to have a tool that will help me as a manual tester to be able to write and maintain test cases scenarios and be able to at the same time execute it in an automation mode. And to do that, we've kind of mixed Selenium Java, the framework concept, created a very simple web UI with some amazing reports, and we built this platform. It's more of a very simple, easy to use platform. And right now we have the beta version ready and launched for use. We launched it almost a month and a half ago in the Selenium conference in Austin, Texas, where we were one of the sponsors. So I've just logged into an account. If you wish to create your account, you can sign up in the front home page and start using it. So to become a certified tester, the only prerequisite is primarily how well do you know what this application does and how can you take the best benefit of it. That is the primary objective of this certification. We want to certify you that you know what is AnyAUT and how that can be used. Let me get on Skype, please. So we have a dashboard, then we have something called as test setup, we have run setup, test run, and test results. A lot of these things will change in the next coming thing, but this is our working beta prototype. It is all functional. So test setup is primarily where a user can come and enter various test details, be it a detail of the application, each and every module under it, the test cases that are linked with each module, and the steps that get linked with the test cases. Then we have a section called reusable components, be it an element map, so that we create an element one time using XPath, link text, ID, name, different attributes, and try and use it repeatedly for many scenarios. Then we have reusable test data, through which we can test how a specific test scenario or case works, but for different sets of test data. In fact, even cross-browser, we put it out there. I'll take questions in a quick minute. If you have a question, the best way is to put it in the chat. Raising hand also is fine, but hold on for a quick minute. I'll finish this and take them, please. Then we have high-level keywords. These are nothing but user-defined group of test steps that can make life simpler for any test engineer. And all this is done in this web UI. Run setup gives us the option to choose what test cases I want to execute, be able to select one or more sets of test data against which we want to do, and be able to save this into trainers. There's nothing here. Just say no for this. Okay. And we save this run setup, give it a name, KK underscore 17th May. And once I do that, I can go to the test run, search for that specific test run that I saved. There are about 14 entries here. I don't think I saved it correctly. Did I save it? No, I just hit enter, so it kind of escaped. Let me quickly do that again. Oops. That's sad. 503 is a network error, team. Give it a minute, please. It should come back. Let me try this. Oh, there you go. My whole servers went down. Can you all hear me okay, Synura? ITLN is fine. Hosted AnyAUT.
Yes, Karthik, I can hear you.
Yeah. The servers on which Intrapt and AnyAUT have been hosted have gone down temporarily. So we'll give it a minute. Yeah. All right. So once we save any kind of test cases, assign test data to it. I'll just save this. Saved. Go to test run. I'll be able to then take that specific file, which is here. It'll download it, and all the instructions of how you can start working with AnyAUT are here. You download the jar file, be it on Windows or Mac OS, should not matter. It will work for both. and then you install it on your local machine. You export the Excel that I just did in this format. Then we execute it, and the whole thing will happen. And Sindra, I think you're going to show the demo, right? In fact, I don't know why I picked it up. It was supposed to be you.
Yes, I will go in depth. Yes.
Okay, cool. Uh, so Sindra will kind of give you a walkthrough team of how it's working. So let's go back to this. It is extremely important that you build this. Until you do a real project, even if it is to showcase it within your project or team, or you can take any sample project and try and implement on it. All right. So the whole purpose is for you to really feel the tool and understand how it works and so on. And finally, the certification test. It's like a 35 question, 30 minutes, multiple answer test. We're going to do 50 um, participants at a time starting this week. So out of the 4,000 plus people who kind of registered for this webinar, or rather the whole AnyAUT series, today I think there are very few people because the time I guess it's about 44 people who are attending. We'll be conducting this test starting this week. So get ready. If you've done these two steps, then you should be eligible to take the test and get your certification. It is a soft copy and it is also a physical certificate that is going to be sent to you. Selenium live training, we're starting this from the 23rd, I believe, correct? Ashna, Shruti, Chandana, please correct me if I'm wrong, 23rd May. And we will start with a 5 hours of free training that will include Selenium basics and AnyAUT fundamentals. Now, before I let Sindra take on from here, the primary thing about AnyAUT certified developer is the fact that if you are a AACD equals QA, like manual testing, plus Selenium, plus Java, plus frameworks, plus AnyAUT. What that means is if you are an AnyAUT certified developer, you are a master of all of these skills without a question. There is absolutely no question about it. You can guarantee the fact, and especially when you go into interview or go into a project discussion, it should stand up. It should talk like it's an MIT or it's an IIT or it's a Harvard University. Just the way it has been built, from the basics all the way to extremely complex coding. But saying that, I do not mean to scare you, but just the fact that the way we've built it is easy to learn. But if you go through this journey, this is the only thing that you need as a software QA or professional that I believe today. Yes, there are other uh, platforms like performance testing, web services testing, DevOps, SDET, and so on. But when it comes to functional automation testing, this will become the king. AnyAUT is not yet popular in the market, and that's fine. It will get popular over a period of time. But the fact that you're an AnyAUT certified developer puts a lot of focus and stress on your capability. That you are absolutely capable on these 4-5 areas. All right. So Sindura, I'm good. Can I make you the presenter and you can go ahead? And before that,
Yes, sure.
team, do you have any questions from your end, please? Anything that I can address right now before Sindura takes on? Let me know, please. When we are AACD certified developer, is that same or similar as a SDET? I think it will be similar or same, if not more. That is what I would say, Calvin. because the way we are doing this is like a total development project. AnyAUT certified tester does not mandate you to have technical or coding level expertise, but AnyAUT certified developer absolutely mandates that. And you'll see in some of the things that Synura is going to explain. Can we take both AACT and AACD tests, one after the other? You have to start with AACT, you have to go to Selenium live training or videos, and then AACD. You cannot skip. There's no skip level in this. And if you have learned Selenium somewhere, does not matter. For us, you have to start from zero with IT. Is it a free certification or we need to pay for the exam? The certification is free for AnyAUT certified tester. Selenium basic training is free. Advanced training is paid. AnyAUT certified developer is paid. And Synura is going to mention on that. Tests are online, correct? All right, I think most of these answers will get addressed when Synura is going through things. So Synura, off to you, and then I'll come back, please.
Thank you, Karthik. Welcome everyone to AnyAUT Certified Developer Training. Today we have the below agenda. So we are going to talk over a few things so that you can get introduced to what AnyAUT is, as well as what are our future plans and what we are currently doing, a small demo as well. I am Synura. I have over 13 years of experience in QA. So I have worked in India as well as after coming to US, I've been working for quite some time here. And my association with IT Learn has been like about 7 years back. Actually, it started 7 years back. So I started off with QTB training then. And later on, I wanted to upgrade myself with Selenium also. I have been mostly into management in the past 5 to 6 years. But I wanted to learn Selenium also technical. I want to advance myself technically too. So that was the main reason. I again went back to with my experience with Karthik, I went back to IT Learn without any doubt. So I had started working from, I took my training started last year, in the beginning of last year. And from August, I guess, last year August, I guess, I started working on AnyAUT. So we developed, we started as a group of people started to work on it. And slowly it went on to become Karthik's dream project. So that's what we have been working in AnyAUT. And also, I have been one of the co-developers of AnyAUT. We have about 5 or 6 people that are actively working on the core engine side of it. And currently I have accepted more responsibilities. So I'm also acting as the project manager for the project. So we have a web development team placed in India, and we have the core engine team here in the US mostly. So we are trying, I'm the project manager coordinating all of them. So that are my current roles and responsibilities. So any questions till now? So I'm going to take a couple of questions. Is retake possible in case we couldn't get through in first try in test? Karthik, I'll let you answer that.
Absolutely yes. You can retake as many times till you succeed. The point is not to scrutinize you, it's just to build your skill and confidence. You take it as many times as you want till you get it right. That's the whole point. But once you're certified, that means that we have vouched for you. So absolutely yes, you can retake it as many times as you want.
And Gracie, you're saying that you're getting a null point error. We are the co-developers, so we would be able to help you with whatever your issue is. Maybe you can shoot us an email about it, and we would be able to look into what those issues are.
But hold on 1 second. Why is a technical question coming in this session? This is not a session where your technical questions are going to be addressed to you. Please note that. It's an orientation session for a very coveted project and a program called AACD. You have technical questions. We have a total technical help desk team, and we have a great forum that you can contribute and be part of. And that's where things will get addressed. So let's keep things relevant. So let's keep questions relevant to what the session is all about. This is not a technical Q&A. Thank you.
So the next question is, can I take this AnyAUT certification course even if I am just signing up or getting started with JPAC? So Karthik, I'm going to answer this, correct me if I'm wrong. So you should have completed JPAC to understand, because you need to have the basic understanding of Selenium to understand what we are doing here, at least AACD. Because without those basics, it is difficult to understand what I'm going to talk about, because we are going to dive deep into the code.
Yeah, that's true. And you need to be at least Selenium, good at Selenium Java. That's when you can. So it's either part of JPAC or individually. And what I will suggest, most of these questions, Sindhura, will get answered through your presentation. So go through with it, and most
Okay.
most of the questions can get answered through it. And then we'll come back
Okay.
to you.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm going to get back to the presentation. So what do you need? So you need to understand what AnyAUT is, right? So AnyAUT is basically about, it's a framework, so which is easy to understand. And I'm so sorry, hold on.
Sindhura, I guess you muted yourself, so we can't hear you.
Extremely sorry about that. I wasn't expecting a call at this time at all.
No problem.
Sorry.
No problem. Thank you.
So getting back to AnyAUT, so it is basically a framework, okay, that is an independent framework that is built using Selenium and Java. So it is easy to understand, it is flexible. So it is, as Karthik mentioned, it is for someone who wants to move from manual testing to automation testing very easily without actually them putting any effort of writing scripts. So all the user has to do is write test cases in the test management tool. So it has a web-based test management tool. So this is the link where you can access it. So enter your test cases in the format that is available there, and just on click of a button, you would be able to see all your test results. So that's the goal of AnyAUT. So we are trying to make it more user friendly. That's what we are currently talking about. Um, and it has a backend. So this is the front end piece, the web-based test management tool, and backend, it is powered by Selenium and Java. So the core engine is built on top of Selenium using Java. So that is where all the magic happens. So that is exactly what we are going to look at for the AACD training. So it executes on multiple environments. So it will run on your Mac, it will run on your Windows servers without any problem at all. And it will run also on multiple browsers, like let's say Safari, Firefox, Chrome, IE, all of this. We have built it in such a way that it can handle all of these browsers too. And AnyAUT also produces quite user-friendly reports. They're really, really nice. We are actually planning to expand them further. Um, it will give you a detailed dashboard of all the execution that is happening in that particular run. So I'm going to go forward. So who are the end users of AnyAUT, right? So it can be anyone basically. So it can be a business user, a QA person, a manual QA person. Developers can use it to test their unit testing, to perform unit testing. Or any regression testing also, just to be sure that they haven't broke anything while during development. End users like UAT people, and management also, because they can actually go into the web management tool and see, okay, how is my project actually, the health of the project you can easily see, how many runs have been done, how many test cases are written, how many test cases were executed, how many steps are, so everything is there. Even for a upper management, you don't have to really produce, if you're a lead or someone, you don't have to really produce any reports. So it is all there readily available for them to just go and view, that's all. So how does it work? So this is a very graphical representation by Karthik. Karthik, do you want to explain it?
So funny. This is something. So I was a Mac user. I started with the Windows as a machine. Then I became a Mac user. But then I realized that I need to do a lot of drawings, and I moved to Surface Pro by Microsoft. Amazing system, and it gave me the stylus to draw and so on. So one fine night, I don't know why, I just wanted to kind of put together a image which will talk about what AnyAUT does. So it was like a cartoon drawing. My handwriting is pretty pathetic. So knowing that fact, plus I'm not an art guy, I really like this, what I kind of drew. This basically says, as a user, we can use AnyAUT web UI in that box. And what it helps us to do is create a test suite, like all your test artifacts, test cases, test steps, and put it just like a manual tester would do. Then you can select what you want to test, what you want to run. You can actually run them on Selenium directly and be able to view the results. What it will also help you to do is export everything to Excel. It will give you some way to directly do it on Selenium. Absolutely zero coding. You will never ever get to see a code in AnyAUT. Lot of current technologies that we've seen, be it from HP, Selenium, cross-browser testing, um, uh, Silk tests, and so on that we've seen, they all talk about create tests using a simple web UI and then convert it into C# code, Java or Python and so on. This tool will not give you that option. It's an absolute code invisible tool. It also will help you do cross-browser testing, parallel test runs, and get you some beautiful results. And this image basically says what is the current beta version. But when we're talking about the um, future version 1.0, which is going to be the major release, it is going to be packed and loaded with something amazing. That's a vision. That's another dream to take it forward. We're investing a lot of effort, a lot of time and energy into this because we believe in it. Especially after the Selenium conference, I believe we all started to believe strongly about this. The way the audience is reacting, the way the competition is looking at this, and just the fact of how we are able to compete with all the big names with this tool is a fabulous journey, and we've kind of taken our passion to the next level. We're highly invested into it as of now. Yeah, so this diagram is a simple architecture as to what it can do. Thanks, Synura. There's
Yeah,
never a short
thank
answer from my side, always a long one.
No, that's the reason, I wanted you to explain your art. Thank you very much. Uh, as Karthik was saying, Selenium conference has been really an eye opener for us. We have been actually next to people like HP. They were all big companies there, and nobody knew us. That is something interested people to come to us and see what we were doing, and they were really fascinated to see what we are actually trying to target here. And version 1.0 is going to be really, really something else. We are taking it to a complete whole new level. Um, sorry, my system is not responding. Okay.
We
Sorry,
can
I
see your
understood.
screen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I think it was in the different pen, I guess. So what are the frameworks that we have used, right? So this is something we always say, and AnyAUT is built using a hybrid framework. So what do we exactly have in that framework? So we have used TestNG, we have used keyword driven, we have used data-driven and page object model frameworks. So I will go into these frameworks also to explain what exactly I'm talking about. So you can have just one frame when you're developing by yourself. You can use just one framework and develop your automation suites, or you could actually combine various ones to address all your needs. And that is what is a hybrid framework. So that's exactly what we have done. We have used all these four frameworks to combine into AnyAUT to make it more powerful. So I'm going to pause my presentation here, and I want to switch to giving you a demo of what AnyAUT is, what the current beta version is. So I have created some test cases, but I would like to create one or two test cases for you to show what exactly and how to do or how to create test cases in this particular tool. What would be something new for a manual tester, um, and how to understand and address it. Uh, so this is a dashboard we were talking about. This is the beta version where you can see, how many modules we have, test cases, test steps, elements. So just to give you a brief idea about, we have a concept called reusable elements here, or components, basically reusable components, where we can reuse the elements and also the test data. When I say elements, so every web application has elements in its page. So we will have to, as a user, we all have to identify these elements so that the automation scripts can work. So that is the difference, one of the, or the main difference between a manual test case versus an automated test case is to identify, okay, this is exactly where my data is going to be, or this is where I'm going to click, or this is where I'm going to write my data or enter my data. So all of these elements can be defined in this in reusable components here. So this is a dashboard, and this is a test setup where we have the test suite. So this is exactly where you build your test cases, modules, test steps, and everything. So we have three things here. One is the test details, where you would enter all this information. And there is reusable components that I was talking about. So we have an element map, we have test data, we have something called high-level test cases and low-level keywords. I will touch on them in a bit. So these two are the key things in the test setup. So going to reusable components. So high-level keywords is nothing but a repeatable set of test steps, basically. So we might, when you're testing an application, we might be logging into the application every single time. So you don't have to write. If you're familiar with ALM, if you think about call scripts where you can call an existing test case, Similarly, that is what, or simply it is something transformed here too. So we will be able to reuse the test steps, mark them as high-level keywords, and we would be able to reuse them at anywhere you please to. Low-level keywords are, Selenium uses all these keywords. So these are a set of defined keywords that we have. So these are something, if I give you, let's say, open browser. So if you want to open a browser, so you can use this low-level keyword. So how we associate with the test case or a test step, so we would be associating all of this into a test case or a test, basically a test step. So now if you want to navigate to a browser, so use this keyword. So the explanation of or description of all of these keywords, you can find it in here if you're not sure which one to use. So test data is, so you define test data here and then you can reuse it any number of times. And element map, same thing that I was talking about. So we can reuse, you can define reusable elements, or you can use them as, if you don't want to reuse, if you think it's one time, I'm not going to come back to this page or click on this particular link, or or this image too many times, I know maybe I'll just write them in one or two test cases and not use them further. So I'm going to just not make it a reusable element. So we have here, if you see here, we have quite a few reusable elements. So I have been used, so let me start off. The first part of where you would start is AUT, which is the application under test. So here we have Southwest as the application under test. Modules, I have defined 4 modules or 5 modules here. The car reservation, flight reservation, homepage, hotel reservation, and vacations reservation. So you can add anything. You can just define whatever you want. I'm just going to give something. So give a name, and you can add a module too. So you should be able to see it here. If you need to edit, you can edit using that, or delete. So you can actually go to test cases from here, or you can click the link here too. So go to test cases. So in this page, you can see all the test cases that were already created. So before we start creating a test case, let's go ahead and start creating a test case. So you can select a module. So I'm going to say vacations. So I'm going to just open Southwest Airlines just to show you what test case we are seeing. So my test case is basically to make a reservation or search for options for air plus car. Okay, so my test steps should be to open this web page, go to this, open this browser actually first. You have to open the browser, go to this link, navigate to vacations, and then click on this radio button, because by default it is on this one, and then enter departure and arrival, pick the dates and click on the search button. So that is what is my are my test steps. So for this test case, so I'm going to say, so we're doing a air plus car reservation. So I have added this test case. You can see it. You can see here. So if I say vacations, so under vacations, so make an air plus car reservation. Oh, it looks like I already have that. Sorry. I'm going to delete the old one. So let's keep a new one. So, and then we'll go to test steps. We can go from here or here. So I'm going to just click go to test steps and select the module. So we were trying to make a reservation under this module, the test case, and I'm going to add a step number. Or even before I do that, so our goal as as a user to see, okay, whether I can identify this particular this particular element. So I think I already have that information. So looks like I don't have that information. I had some issue with my Firefox, so I had to downgrade it, and my Firepath is not working. I'm just looking for a unique way to identify this. So this is the unique identifier here. So I'm going to use this. So I'm going to go. So I'm going to first add my element, create my element so that I can select this. Location. So which way we are trying to identify it, whether we are using an XPath or whether we are using an ID or name or linked. So I'm going to use an XPath. So I'm going to say input ID equals, yeah. So I'm going to add my element map. And also I would like to add some test data also, because when I make the selection, so when I make the selection, I would like to let me just remove this. So when I make my selection for A plus cargo, I would like to enter these details as well as this one. So I'm going to go to, so these are reusable components that we are trying to define. As I said, you don't have to make everything reusable. You can make it as one time also. I'll show you how you can do that. So you can select an existing test data set that is already available and give underscore car. So I'm going to just give naming conventions. I'm trying to just make it consistent. Or no, actually we don't even need this because I think I already defined data for this information. Let me show you. So if you see this, I already have defined one test data set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add, do it for another one. This is a radio button, so we don't need any data to be input there. So I'm going to say departure. So for this, I'm going to add. So I'm trying to create two sets of test data. So when the way I'm going to do it is when I'm running my test cases, I'm going to say I want to run for both sets of test data. So that way it will pick both of them. So my test cases will run for all of them. I'm just trying to make the name same so that we won't have a problem. So if you see here, so there are two sets of data, two data sets with different kind of data. So when we are running our test cases, so it will run, I mean, depending on how we select it, it will run for both the test data sets. So I'm going to go back to creating the test steps for it. Okay, so this should, so vacations. So the first step is I have to load the home page. So I'm going to quickly do that. So here I'm using a high level keyword because I have steps in my high level keyword that says open a browser first thing and then navigate to a browser. So which happens every time. So I have created a high level keyword that will that has these steps already. So I'm going to just add this step. Now I'm going to add another step where I'm going to click on vacations link, because we'll have to click on that link. So I'm going to, here we will actually select, okay, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm going to be clicking on a link. This is where, you have to just understand what your step is actually doing. So click on a link and then you have to say where is the link. You have to identify it, right? So you have to identify the element. So we created the reusable element just before. So I'm going to go and select that. This is the one, and click add step. And then third is enter departure. So it is a low level keyword. So we are actually typing it, right? So it's just type text. So simple. So we have to identify the element. So we will identify the element, the departure. We will have to enter data. So we are using reusable data. So here, as I said, you can use a reusable, if you think that data will be used multiple times, you can create it as a reusable data and also use it. If you don't want to do it, you can just say it's one-time data. Okay, I'm one-time use, so I'll just enter the data whatever I want to use. So I'm saying reusable. So I'm going to say departure. So I'm going to stop here because I don't want to take too much of time on this one. So we will see how it runs and everything. So enter arrival. And this is also the same thing. So we are going to type text. We are going to define the arrival and reusable. Okay, I'm going to stop here. So this is our one of the test cases. Okay, so now if you're looking at your test cases, so this is how you will go about creating your test cases and steps. So the next step is, once you're done creating all of them, now the next step is you have to create a run. That means you're actually choosing which test cases you want. So I have a lot of test cases, but I want to pick and choose which ones I want to execute. So I have all these modules here, but I don't want to execute all of them. Let's say I want to execute test cases in vacation. So it is going to show you all the test cases that are under this particular module. So you can say, yes, I want to add, I want to execute this one. So here you're going to go and select what are the test data sets that are applicable for this test case. So we have two sets of test data that we have defined. So we will select that. And let's select this one also that we just created. So we will save this run. Okay. So I'm going to say training 1, save. Sorry, looks like we're going to go a little over the time. So this has been saved. So I'm going to quickly download. So when you come to this page for the first time, so you will have to download the jar file, the backend engine that I was talking about. You will have to do it here. So download, so the jar, while the jar file is downloading, I'm going to go ahead and download this run also. So this is going to produce an Excel document that will have all the test cases, the ones that we have selected and the ones that we have not selected also. So there are two steps in our engine program where it picks up all the necessary test cases, and also we have tagged elements and we have tagged test data sets. We have not really said this is the actual data. So this piece of code will try to understand all of that and give you an output where you will be actually seeing all the real data and not the referenced elements or referenced values. So you can see this here. Let me quickly show it. So it produces a document with multiple tabs. You just have to scroll. So you will see everything here. So if you see, so we had all those modules, but we have selected only one which to be executed. So that is why it is showing execution mode as Y. And we have these test cases. And it will show you what are the test data sets that we have selected, test steps. So if you see, you can understand what I was talking about. We said, hey, this is what we are going to be using for test data. This is what are the elements, but there is no actual element here or the test data here. So when the next step runs, it is going to actually fetch the necessary information and give you the actual result. So yes, this I'm going to keep. So this is a jar file that gets downloaded. I'm going to quickly show you. I'm not going to install, but I'm going to quickly show you because I have already an installed version. Sorry, it says unidentified. Yeah. So open. Oh, I am sorry. I think I opened the actual execution version. This is, oh no, this is fine. Okay. So you just go and give the location, and if you're running on Windows, please do not install in your program files. It is all if you see here, it also says that please do not install because this program doesn't have rights, or you probably might not have admin rights to write into your program file. So it will not, because there are some files that are going to be written into this particular path. So please pick and choose something else, maybe on your desktop or something. So you can go and give this, I don't know if it's trying to, okay, so it will say, it will create this. If I say this, it is going to override whatever I have, so I'm not going to do that. That's all, it's click OK and it is going to install the jar file. So I'm going to quit here. And I'm going to go to the location where I have, so in my applications, it's already installed. So this is the jar file that you need to execute. So the next step is you just double click on this. It opens a Java interface. So you can give what is the run name. It give anything, it doesn't really matter. So you can say training one. Who's executing? I'm going to give my name. So where is the Excel that is downloaded? So you have to provide the location of the file that just got downloaded. So training one is the one that this is the one that we just used. So browser timeout is basically how many seconds you or milliseconds you want to wait, or how many seconds you want to wait. Sorry, milliseconds you want to wait before the while the page is loading. So I'm going to just say 10 seconds, not milliseconds, sorry, I'm confusing you. So I'm going to go ahead and execute. While it is executing, it is actually preparing. So for a little bit of time, you might not see any movement or action in this, but it is what it is trying to do is take all the information from the Excel as I talked about, and it is going to try to reference get the actual data from the referenced variables that we have used and build a new Excel document out of it. And once that is done, it will start executing the test cases. See, it has started execution. So it has navigated to vacations. Now it is entering the details. Click on search. It is closed. So now it is opening the Firefox browser. Earlier it has done it in Chrome, if you have missed that. So we have again browsed to, yeah, it's a little bit fast, sorry. So it's trying to run multiple test cases with the different browsers. That's what it's trying to do. So if you observe, it has shifted the radio button, the next one, to the So once the execution completes, looks like there is no activity that is happening right now. It could be an error in our test case, the way we have written it. So which is also good. You can see what happens when there are errors. So this program actually does take screenshots and gives very detailed the very good details of what the error is, where is the location of the screenshot. Even on the dashboard, you can actually see the screenshots. So now that the Java application has closed, that means it has completed execution. So we'll just go ahead. So you can see all your results here under the name that you provided while preparing the while running. So looks like so here are the screenshots. You can see all of them here. What's happening, and so this is the first Excel that it produces from the data. So as I was telling you that it is going to take all the data, and now you can see the element IDs, the test data and everything here, and you can see the actual results, what has happened, what has executed, what passed, what failed. That information is available here. So see if these are failed test cases for whatever reason. So maybe it didn't recognize the element the way I defined it. Probably that's possible. So it is going to give you the details of all the errors And also, if you see, this is the location of the screenshots. So it's going to tell you where the screenshots are available. And the next one thing that I want to show you is the HTML report. So this is the dashboard I was talking to you about. So if you see, so if the test case, all the test results have passed, then it will be a pass. If any one at least failed, then the test case will be a failure. So if you see here, it is repeating, the steps are repeating because it has a different set of test data here. So if you see, this is Firefox. It was running on test data set 02, and this was running on test data set 01. So you will see multiple sets in the same test case. And on a failure also, you can see, okay, this test case is failed. So there is a screenshot here. You can click on it and then you can see, you know, what was going on. Looks like maybe it was not able to identify vacations link. So that's what happened. So this is a, sorry, and you can also see a dashboard. It's going to give you some pictorial graphs and everything for you to you know, understand it in a different perspective. So this is a brief overview of what AnyAUT is, and once this is done, actually what you can do is you can actually zip this one, and you can upload this. Once the execution completes in the test results, you can go to your run, so this one, and choose the file, and so all your test results get uploaded back to the website. So if anybody wants to see anything, everything is available up here. Okay, so, where does it go? Oh, yeah. So you can see this file here. So in the meantime, you have any questions about AnyAUT? So before I take any questions, I just want to let you know a few things. So the prerequisites, I know we were talking about it earlier. So we need to have a JPACT and JPACT completed members or Selenium training completed members, because as I said, we are going to go deep into the code itself and show you how we have done, how the framework works, what are the different elements, what are the different components of the framework and everything. So it's quite a deep dive. So we would like to definitely have you to have that kind of you know, at least knowledge of Selenium, or at least if you have been part of JPACT, you would be able to understand that. And just to give you an idea about what we are going to be doing in the upcoming, you know, what we are planning to do. So we have quite a bit of changes. We are planning to rewrite the entire web as well as the engine part of it. So we are going to be using some new technologies and tools. We are planning to use Trello for project management, GitHub for source code control management, and Jenkins for build management. And we are also thinking about using Java WebStart too. So these are some of the things that we are thinking on, and we are currently working on the requirements for web already. You know, they are already moving ahead. We have started using Trello to maintain all our epics and backlogs there. Any questions? Karthik, would you like to add anything to this?
Not really, but just the fact that what you're seeing right now would would look like a lot of effort for a single couple of scenarios. But when we load this application with, let's say, dozens or hundreds of scenarios and reusable components, that is when you'll see a major efficiency. Because what we have done is we've kind of combined the a test management tool similar to HPALM or maybe Jira, along with automation using Selenium. And as you keep using this, you'll understand how powerful it's going to be. In fact, all the projects that we're doing with Atomic 77 right now are being done, tested through AnyAUT. And the version 1 will have a lot more coming up. Yeah, thank you, Sindhura, for the demo.
Yeah, thank you, Karthik. So there are a couple of questions. Would you like to take it up?
Okay,
Anil, I will answer the last question. Trust me, it's not complicated. It is as simple as you're writing a test case, but the only effort would be to identify an element, okay? And this is something you must do it if you're doing automation testing. Even if you were to write even a single script, you will have to identify elements. And test data is something which is optional, right? You have test data, you want to use it, you will have to create it, or if you don't want to use it, that's fine, and however your test case is, because I'm trying to put so much information, so much new information at one time, it sounds complicated, but trust me, it is nothing but complicated. I have used, you should use I don't know if you have used HPLM or those kind of tools. They're much more complicated. There is so much that goes into maintaining them. For a user or for a lead or a manager, everybody, it is not, for anyone, it is not easy. And it's just because it's your first time you're listening to so much of information, it sounds complicated, but as I said, it is nothing like that.
yep. And just to add to that, for example, HPALM, right? How many of us need training to work with HPLM? Almost everyone. Though it's a simple tool, it serves a specific purpose, it still requires some kind of a training to become a HPALM user. I'm not even talking admin. Admin is much more complicated.
Yeah, admin is really really complex.
Yeah, so this is a mixture of little bit admin and a lot about test management. And then once you're done with it, it runs automation. That's important thing. There's one question from Purnaya and Toshi. Is it an open source tool? I wouldn't say it's an open source tool because you cannot really customize it and implement it at your end, but it is a free tool. The beta version is available for free forever. The version 1, version 2 maybe will contain a SaaS model. When you say completed JPact, what specific courses? Indu, uh, JPact has everything. But for any certified developer, you need to be a Selenium, uh, good at Selenium and Java. Uh, Question from Ravi. Can we change the state of soft test case from failed to pending so that I will come back to test step, correct it, and then rerun that particular test case? It will still remain as fail. You cannot move the status of it, but you can create a new run and it'll show you the updated results, Ravi. And what we're trying to also accomplish over a period of the next few versions is to bring a total defect management life cycle into it. Yes, Anil, you're right. We need to have a little practice. The sessions that we will do will in fact create a 1 hour or some kind of tutorials on each of them, which will make this tool much more easier to understand and start using. So what is critical for you all is if you're looking for certification, AnyAUT certified tester, which is free, and you can learn how to use this tool, that's the effort you need to put. What about defect management? Yes, Avadut, like I said, defect management or defect life cycle is not yet integrated or created. That's coming up in the next builds. Pramod, I have little confusion in marking specific element as high level keyword and low level keyword. One of the participants asked the same question and I didn't answer. Low-level keywords are inbuilt commands. It's like click a button, select from a drop-down list, open a browser, and type something into a field, verify if a text is present, and so on. Those are the simple, lowest level possible steps that a user can perform. High-level keywords takes a combination of these steps and combines it. Very simple. I'll give you an example. Let us say you want to do a transfer of funds in a banking application. For that scenario, what are the steps that you need? One, you have to log in. Two, you have to verify balance. Three, you have to transfer amount to the recipient. Four, verify transaction completed and log out. So I said in simple 4 steps, correct? But how many actual steps are there in login itself? There's open the browser, click on login link, enter username, enter password, click on login, confirm that you've logged in, about 5 steps. So to transfer funds, I need to log in. To verify balance, I need to log in. To do anything, I need to log in. So we've combined those 5 steps, which are the low-level keywords, and call it as one high-level keyword saying login. Same thing with transfer funds to a recipient. It is enter the recipient detail, enter the amount, ensure that every confirmation details and billing address is correct, complete the transaction, enter the security code, and confirm. So there are multiple steps, but we will use them often. What happens in a real life scenario, especially in a regression testing in an agile world, is the login test, login high level keyword might be used in, let's say, 100 out of 1,000 test case portfolio. So if a small change happens, I need to go and change it in 100 test cases, which is a mammoth task. And that's where people get shied away. And that's where HPLM does not support. But when we use and create these high level keywords, we change it in one place and it gets reflected everywhere. Those are the kind of advantages that these reusable components bring to us. Same with test data, same with element map. So any kind of a changes or reusability comes to it, it's much more efficient and maintenance is quite easy. Hope that answered the question, Pramod. What type of software tool do I need to install for AnyAUT? So like you see on the screen right now, Sindhura, if you can scroll up a little bit, you need Java runtime environment and those 5-6 steps to execute it. Sindhura, can you scroll up a little bit on the screen?
Yeah, can you see it?
Yes, thank you. With the tool, will the tool prompt us if we give the same test case name more than one time, just in case if we duplicate the names by mistake and get confused? Good question. The tool is trying to keep it a little bit more. Okay, for beta version, we gave a lot of freedom to the end user, but for version 1 and next, we're going to restrict and become much more stringent in terms of naming standards, nomenclatures, and so on. So the user will lose that right. And then the duplication or confusion in terms of the names will disappear. Right, Sindhura?
Yes, that's absolutely right. But for steps, I think if you're trying to reuse the same step description or name, it does prompt you to not to use it.
Okay.
It's yeah.
All right. Can we add user-defined functions? For example, before taking actions on each element, it will highlight. What we said is high-level keywords are nothing but user-defined functionalities. But is there a at before, at after, at test kind of a concept like JUnit or TestNG? Not yet, but we're coming up with it. Do we get the logs of each run to check which steps got failed? Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I think Sindhura showed you the test results, the zip file and the folder in which every step has the detail of it. Do you suggest we use a Mac or can we use a Windows 10 based laptop? Your call. Either one is fine. What you're comfortable with. It'll work on both.
And just to add on to the before question, so yes, we do generate a log file too, apart from what you're seeing in your test results as well as on the dashboard. So everything is getting logged here, so you can go and see how everything is performing, if you can see here. So there's a detailed log too.
Yep. So guys, like, the reason we gave you this walkthrough is for you to get a perspective of what the tool does. Now, this AnyAUT certified developer training that Synura is going to continue from next week is all about how did we build this? What is the total code level detail on it? Not the web code, but the actual core engine Selenium code. So that understanding that code requires you to get a good understanding of the tool, how it functions, and then everything will fall into the right place for you. Any further questions? Or Sindhara, do you have anything else on the PowerPoint?
No, I think I pretty much covered everything on the PowerPoint too. From the agenda. I just want to say, what we are going to do in the next, upcoming session. So we're going to have a deep dive into the AnyAUT framework, into the code itself, to understand how the framework works and how we have used how these various components work in the code. And we'll do some small exercises within that code, so that as a team you guys will be able to do it, and get some hands-on experience of, or have a good understanding as well as hands-on experience. We will execute some test cases using the changes that we have done. And we should be able to do a small project also. So that will have more number of changes. So each of you can come up with how you have implemented from your end. So this way you will have a real good understanding of AnyAUT. So that gives you, the positive is you will know all the frameworks, what we are talking about, when we are talking, sorry, I think we couldn't get into detail on different frameworks, but how keyword framework, what is it, how it works, how data-driven works, how page object, so all of these, so you will really understand how to build a framework, what each of it is. So it's like you're actually working on a real life project. So that experience is what makes it so different.
Yeah, and having done this entire thing, this will give you the opportunity for the right people to get into part of the AnyAUT development team. Like Sindhura has become a part in a very similar fashion, you all have the opportunity to contribute to the application itself.
Absolutely, because as Karthik and I both have said, we are going to be doing a lot of changes. So if you are comfortable with understanding this, you can definitely be a part of it and get more exposure to more tools and technologies, and what we can actually achieve.
Yeah. So I'm going to take final few questions and then let's end this session, please. Is knowledge in Selenium a prerequisite for AACD? Absolutely yes. Selenium is scheduled for next month for JPAC 2. Totally right, Haki. And I don't think it's for JPAC 2, it's more for JPAC 3. But at the same time, if you have recently joined JPAC, no problem. This may be at a very, very advanced level for you right now, but you'll get there. If you are inquisitive and keen to know what it is, just join and listen in. You don't have to try and understand anything. It's not necessary that even I could never understand a lot of things in the first sitting. It took me a couple of attempts at least when I started with Selenium almost a decade back. But for you, if you believe that uh, you want to take it slow, fair enough. If you want to be a listener, fair enough. We'll keep trying to repeat this every 2-3 months. Even if you don't do live, you have the videos. All right. All right, team, I don't see any other questions. So wish you all the best, everyone. Try and work hard towards AnyAUT certified tester. Please join in to make sure that AnyAUT certified developer is taken with a lot of intensity and passion, because this single thing will give you, what do I say, a great platform to launch. Becoming an AnyAUT certified developer is the biggest skill that you can ever build or gain in the global QA automation community. Thank you, Sindhura. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week ahead. Bye.
Yeah, thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.